Donald Trump's shutdown hasn't affected you yet. It's going to very soon. By the end of the week, the nation's federal courts could shutter. By early next month, SNAP benefits could be affected. And if the shutdown continues into next year, Medicare and Medicaid services will eventually run out of funding. If that is not enough, Trump has orchestrated the mass firing of thousands of civil servants, undermining the services those officials provide. Now labor unions are pushing back against those firings, calling them illegal and taking the administration to court. Joining us now, Skye Perryman, President and CEO of Democracy Forward, and Everett Kelly, National President at the American Federation of Government Employees.
You know, I guess at this point, Mr. Kelly, you've got to ask yourselves, I know a lot of folks who aren't federal employees are asking themselves, how is this impacting? What is going on for a lot of these folks who are facing furloughs with the potential of being fired, as we noted just a moment ago, some 4,000 since the shutdown. How does this morale shift affect the services that citizens out there need every day and are looking forward to, now including federal employees themselves who are looking for assistance?
You know, and that's a great question, because right now morale is at a record low. I mean, for 9 consecutive months, these employees have been going through, trauma. Roosevelt promised that he would bring that about. That's what we're seeing. They're tired, they're frustrated, but when it comes to them providing the services for the American people, that will go on. They will just continue to do that because they are patriotic employees. They believe in what they're doing. So they will not see the services until they get to the point that they cannot provide the services for lack of staff and those types of things. But it has been traumatizing for the last 9 months.
I just think it's important to note when we talk about the federal workers, they keep our country running. We're talking about the air traffic controllers who make sure the planes land safely, the scientists who monitor drug safety and water quality, the Social Security processors who keep retirees in this country afloat, the weather forecasters who warn communities before hurricanes or floods hit. You know what, Skye? I think that the Trump administration illegally firing a lot of these folks and then rehiring them is just about manipulation and control, okay? And it boils down to the fact that y'all and Mr. Everett Kelly's organization are suing the administration for these illegal firings, and they are trying to muddy the waters. That's my outside person analysis. What say you?
I think that's right. And I think this is also just more of the same from Donald Trump. You have them out tweeting about, the rifts are starting. I mean, not even announcing anything in any organized way, like policy by tweet, which of course is we're used to seeing that from this group. And then you have them really targeting federal workers, but doing it in a way that he doesn't have to do it, right? I mean, a shutdown, we've had shutdowns in this country. You don't have to go lay off, terminate, and riff federal workers. They're doing that to add to the chaos and the confusion. It is totally unlawful, which is why we're going to be in court this week with AFG and other unions and other federal workers. But this is just more of the same from this administration. They're more concerned about sowing chaos than in protecting and caring for the American people.
Skye, can you tell us about the argument you're making in court?
Well, there's a range of arguments about why this is completely unlawful. The government does not have, and the administration does not have, legal authority to go in and to terminate and riff federal employees. There are programs and offices that even with the government shutdown, those are still programs and offices that Congress has put in place. And we don't terminate federal employees during that shutdown. In addition, it's just nonsensical. And so the administration continues to violate legal protections that have been in place for decades against arbitrary and capricious and unlawful government. That is why we are winning in court so much, because they continue to do it, and you see that here.
I've got a two-parter, I guess, is maybe one part for both of you, because they really kind of connect together around this idea. First, for you, Skye, just to finish up on that point about the federal employees, what does this say to a judge in the cases that you're bringing, when you've now got evidence of, okay, in this department, they fired everybody, and 36 hours later, they had to hire most of them back? How does that argument land in a courtroom? And Mr. Kelly, what does that say to the federal employees in the areas that you're obviously concerned about all federal employees, but in those agencies, particularly with specified duties and responsibilities in service to the American people? You were talking about the staff. How do they manage that when all of a sudden on Monday everybody's fired and on Thursday they're back? So let's start with you from the legal and then go to the operational side.
Yeah. I mean, from the legal perspective, this argument, the administration's argument, it's going to land flat, like most of the arguments that they're bringing forward these days. It is arbitrary to go in to announce firings and rifts of our civil servants that are doing the work of the people, then say, oopsie, we got it wrong. I mean, it shows that the administration is not operating consistent with any legal or ethical or logical standard, and the law prohibits that, which is why, of course, we're going into court this week.
Mr. Kelly?
Hey, thank you so much. And but it does bring about a dampening moment for federal employees, right? Because they are already traumatized and they are confused, they are upset, they are tired. And to have this, I'm going to call it a parade of different actions intended to intimidate, intended to traumatized, intended to confuse the workforce, it brings about a morale issue. But, I can't stress enough that these employees are so patriotic, they will continue to do their job and they would do it effectively and efficiently. That's the thing that I am proud of, but does that really bring down morale? It definitely does. But that's the intent of this administration. This administration is intending to bring forth those type of actions and all intended to intimidate employees and try to force them out because they want them gone, because they want this work to be done by private contractors that is about profit, and these people are about people.